If you shine the shoes, you cutting the hair, you working on all those on you doing 5 different things, making $20,000. You can put all of those together and find something you love and make $100,000.
This is a journey.
Let me take you on a journey.
There will still be the journey.
The journey.
New sheriff in town, and his name is
The journey.
Journey.
This thing is bigger than Nino Brown. This is the journey.
The journey.
What is it that moved you?
The journey. The journey. The journey. The journey. The journey.
Welcome back to the latest episode of The Journey. I'm your host, Larry Robinson, and today we have a Memphis icon that I'm sure you're going to love. But first, we're going to have our quote. The quote comes from the great Frederick Douglass, civil rights activist and author. "The soul that is within me, no man can degrade." What does that mean to you? Well, what it means to me is that my soul is valuable. And it's because my soul was given to me by the Creator that no man can diminish it or anything. And I think you're going to find that our Memphis icon believes some of those same words. Today we have Vincent MagicHands Guy. He's straight out of South Memphis, husband, father, entrepreneur, but most importantly, a devout Christian. And he's going to tell you how Christianity has led him through to where he is today. But without further ado, Mr. Vincent MagicHands Guy.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Good,
Yes,
good.
sir.
So we start out.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about early Vincent. Young Vincent, what part of the community was he raised? What school he went to? And what's his family look like?
Okay. Well, I'm Vincent Guy. 47. I'll be 47 at the end of this month.
Okay.
Been in business since 1999.
Wow.
I started shining shoes when I was 13. Shining shoes was my first job. I remember when we was headed to church as a teenager, we used to always pass the shoe parlor. And my mom had 5 kids, and we always walked past the shoe parlor and I always saw a lot of young kids standing outside the building.
Okay.
And
This is in South Memphis?
This was in South Memphis, McMorran Lauderdale.
Okay.
And so at the time I was going to Lincoln Junior High.
Okay.
And a friend of mine at the time, we used to, check each other in school, talk about each other, how we were, but having fun.
Right. And
he told me one day, he said, "Man, you need to sell some weed or shine shoes or something because your pants are flooding." So I'm not a street dude, so I'm like, well, I can't sell no weed.
Right.
And I said, but shining shoes, I remember passing this shoe shine parlor.
Okay.
And so I remember going to this shop, met a gentleman named Lavelle McCullough.
Okay.
At the time he was getting married, and I kept going 2 or 3 times.
Well, hold on. We're going to get to all that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Tell us about the home life. So your mom, dad, and the 5 kids, or what?
Right. Well, my mom, I met my dad one time when I was 25. And my mom has been
Wait.
Yeah.
You met your dad one time?
Yes, sir, one time. Yes, sir, when I was 25 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
That's part of the reason why I fell in love with shining shoes.
Okay, we're gonna unpack that.
Yes, sir.
One time
Yes, sir.
at
One
25.
time.
Wow, keep that in mind. One time in his life, he's met his father.
One time.
All right.
Right.
So now, who outside of your mom and immediate family had the biggest impact on Vincent Guy?
Wow. It's been so many people
Okay.
that have impacted my life. So many great men.
Okay.
Around the city.
Give me one. Give me one that you can just think of right away.
Lavelle McCullough.
Okay.
Lavelle McCullough was the one that actually taught me how to shine shoes.
Okay.
At the shoe shine parlor. Mayor Harrington, a client come by the shop that stayed on me at school.
Really?
Oh, yes, sir. Client of mine. Jarvis Beckham, a gentleman that I met as I got older. My stepdad that was in my life, he drove trucks and he provided for us. He was the best dad that I didn't have.
Okay.
Deacons at my church.
Okay.
Pastors.
So
so many men.
A lot of people have really
so many
fed
men.
into.
So many men. That's why I fell in
beautiful
love
thing.
with shining shoes, just being around men.
Awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
All right. So what decision did you make as a young person that had a lifelong impact, but you didn't know it would at the time?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that impacted me being young you know, I feel like we was very rich, but we was very poor.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, we didn't have a whole lot, but you can't miss what you can't measure.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of love at home, and my mom taught me so much. She taught me everything.
Okay.
And being that I started working at a young age, and I was giving my mom money. I remember my mom was telling me I was giving her money every week.
Okay.
To put in this account.
Okay.
Not knowing it was helping her out daily at home.
Oh, wow.
You know, so every week I was giving my mom money, buying her gifts and things. I love my mom. I do everything for her and my family.
Right.
So I was learning at a young age to be responsible.
Right.
And I didn't know it.
Wow.
So it wasn't so much about the money that I was making then. I didn't even know how to manage money, but I was making a lot of money. I didn't know how to manage it. I was just giving it to my mom, having fun with it, shopping, gambling, just doing a lot of stuff.
Let me ask you, how different are you from that person that you dreamed you would be as a kid?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I never would have imagined at a young age that I would be who I am today.
Okay. Who did you dream you would be?
I'm gonna be honest. I beat up myself a lot at a young age because, for one, I never finished high school.
Oh, wow.
I never went to college. I had low self-esteem. I didn't have a relationship with my dad, and that played a huge part of me growing up, not having a relationship with my father. So the platform of actually shining shoes, meeting so many men, completed me because I learned all of my life skills from the shoe shine parlor.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
When did you know you was going to be okay, Vincent? At what point you said, you know, I got this?
I want to say probably what helped me was probably when I married my wife. You know, my mom taught me a lot, but me and my wife, we've been together for almost probably 28 years. We've been married this year to be 26 years.
Right.
But just my wife believing in me, you know, meant a lot. You know.
Now, why her believing in you meant a lot?
Because I didn't believe in myself.
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't believe in myself.
What's your why? Why you get up and fight the good fight every day?
I love my family.
Love your family.
I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my mom. I love my siblings.
Okay.
I love, you know, mentorship. I have so many youth around the city that I call nephew. They call me dad. They call me uncle. They call me deacon. So it ain't nothing they can't call me for. I shoot them a cash app or pray for them, or invite them over to the house, bring them by the shop.
Okay.
Whatever I can do.
Now, this is a question that I always get brothers caught up on. Well, when was the first time you realized you was a black man?
That's good.
Hold on. Listen, we're going to be right back on the journey. And Brother Guy is going to share with us when he realized he was a brother. Stay right there. We'll be right back on the journey.
KUDZUKIAN.
Based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with KUDZUKIAN and their team has been incredible. And our partners at KUDZUKIAN has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned. So we get to tell our own stories in our own way. I'm so proud of the founder, Larry Robinson, and his entire family and all of the team here at KUDZUKIAN.
We are so proud of their progress that they've made here in Memphis.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
KUDZUKIAN. Check out all your KUDZUKIAN favorites now. Download the KUDZUKIAN app, available on Android and iOS.
Welcome back to The Journey. I'm your host, Larry Robinson, and today we have Vincent MagicHands Guy, who literally was about to share with us when he realized for the first time he was a brother. Brother Guy?
Yes, sir.
Unpack it. Unpack it. Tell us about the experience.
Well, the experience that I had to remind me who I was, me and a couple of my friends was playing golf. And we was about to tee off. And as I get ready to tee off the swing, I hear a yell, "Nigger."
Whoa.
And we're at the golf course. And so, of course, me and my buddies, we was very distraught about it, but as he yelled, he kept driving. So that was my, encounter. And it was, but it's one of those things whereas you already know who you are.
Right.
You're not trying to be something or somebody that you're not.
Right.
But all at the same time, you still earn that. You feel like you still should earn respect from other people.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back. Let's go back to Hamilton and,
yes,
and whatnot. You said that you didn't finish high school.
No, sir. No, sir.
So wait a minute. You was going to high school.
Yes, sir.
And you just stopped going?
It was tough.
Really?
At the time, I was really struggling to find myself.
Okay.
And I was just so used to, I fell in love with the shoe shine parlor because, I started shine when I was 13 years old. And, so many great people around the world coming by or whatever. I used to skip school at times to even go to work.
Just to make that money.
Just to make the money, just chase the bag.
Right, right.
And so, and I just figured like, if I'm making, $300 and $400 then,
right,
and I'm helping my mom, I'm like, my interest was like gone, like going to school,
right,
and I'm making money. I mean, I remember sometime Coach A used to ask me like, son, what you doing with ballets on at school? What's in the briefcase? I go to school fully suit. Inside the briefcase, I got 2 packs of dice in there. I ain't no books. I'm shooting dice, looking good. When my clients didn't pick their shoes up like John Ford or
so
I wear their shoes
wait a minute, you done wore somebody's shoes?
I did. I wear them to school. If they don't pick them up, but then when that Monday, I'll come back, reshine and put them back on the shelf.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't let them see the video.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Tell me about some fond memories of being back over there in South Memphis.
Man, some of the best memories was in South Memphis, man. I love South Memphis. One thing about being at the shoe shine parlor, man, it was like a country club.
Really?
It wasn't, whether you white, black, rich, or poor, everybody was family.
Wow.
They come through, they get their service, they laugh, they joke, they close deals.
Right.
I mean, it was just so much love, so much respect. The money was flowing.
Right.
And it was like a brotherhood.
Right.
And for me not having my father in my life and have so many men that come through there, from preachers to pimps to politicians, just regular guys off the street, mortgage guys, real estate guys. I just felt complete.
Right.
Can go up there and I feel safe. We're gonna get.
Did you miss your friends and whatnot in school?
I did and I didn't.
Okay.
It was a lot that I didn't experience.
Okay.
Because I didn't finish.
Right.
But it was a whole lot that I gained being there.
Right.
So it was almost like I gave up something to get something.
Right.
But the life skills that I got from that shoe shine parlor, I don't believe I could have got it from Harvard College.
That was an education.
Because it was real, it was raw.
Right.
And it was great experience from all type of men.
That's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
What was the transition into adulthood like? You got married at some point. When did you what age did you get married?
I proposed to my wife when I was 21 and she was 20.
Okay.
I was working at Firestone at the time.
Okay.
And I always hung around older guys.
Right.
And so I just overheard a guy say he was about to marry his wife, and I was like, you know what, I should marry my wife. I called her. I said, baby, look, we're going to get married June the 15th. She said, okay. I hung the phone up.
Oh, that was your proposal?
That was my proposal.
No down on the knee, none of that?
None of that.
Just straight hood?
Same thing. So my wife told it to my son about 3 years ago. And my son looked at my wife and like, Mom, you accepted that?
Right.
And I looked at him like, but I'm still here.
Right. Right,
you know?
right.
But
You
I made
still
it up to it. We had a great renewal last year.
Oh,
it was real nice. And we renewed our vows and we took a trip to Jamaica.
How many kids?
2 kids.
Kids.
But I've raised a lot of kids. Yes,
You've
sir.
raised a lot of
Yes,
kids.
sir. Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned your tragedy in our pre kind of talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us about how you ended up with 3 more kids and.
Back in 2008, we had a major tragedy that happened to our family. My wife's sister was brutally murdered, and instead of letting the kids go to the state,
right?
You know, I told my wife, I'm like, look, for better or for worse.
Right.
So I told her the kids, we'll take the kids in. So at the time, my oldest boy was 6 years old. We just had our second child. He was 4 months.
Oh, wow.
So we took in a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
And you're shining shoes.
And I polish water in a rag. Polish water in a rag. That's what I do, shine shoes. Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So that's life-changing.
It was life-changing.
Now, it's your sister or is your wife's sister?
It was my wife's sister, her youngest sister.
Till death do you part, for better or for worse?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did that do to you as a man to take on those 3 and then actually, you know, literally care for 3 additional children? Did it do anything for you as a person?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You have to be careful what you pray for.
Right.
Because I've always wanted 5 kids. I always wanted 4 boys and a girl.
So God's still in the answer.
God blessed me with 4 boys and a girl. So instead of me dwelling on the negative, I just made it a positive.
Okay.
And actually, it was a major change in our lifestyle. And that's the same year the economy tanked, 2008.
Right.
But I mean, my income dropped. I'm over 50%. We in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. But it was a lot of love. Right. And so what it did for me, it really...
Wait.
Yes, sir.
You said you're in a 2-bedroom house?
1-bath house.
5 kids?
5 kids and a wife.
Getting up in the morning had to be crazy.
It was challenging.
Wow.
It was challenging. Yes, sir. Yeah.
When did it start to get good?
Wow. It started to get good after they left. I love them, but those were 7 of the toughest years of my life.
Really?
Yes, sir. 7 of the toughest years.
What made it tough? What made it tough?
I mean, you know, as a man, self-employed,
right? The
economy tore from the floor up.
Right.
Everybody in my house is in counseling because of the tragedy.
Right.
Then I have to be a role model for all the boys. You know, and be there for my niece and ultimately still cover my wife.
Absolutely.
Because this was her sister.
Absolutely.
And on top of her leaving her sister, months later, she lost her mom and her dad. So she done lost her sister, her mom, and her dad.
Right.
And so I had to figure it out real quick. So I didn't have time to grieve. I didn't have time to cry. I had to get out and provide for my family. I had to pray over them. I had to feed them. You know, I had to go find the pig, cut the pig, cook the pig, feed the pig.
Right.
It was time to step up.
Was there ever any thought of doing anything illegal to make the ends?
Never wavered in my mind. Never.
Because you are a devout Christian. You are committed to your church.
Look, when my mom had 5 kids, and I remember listening to Steve Harvey, he was like, when he was a kid, they went to church all the time.
Right.
That was us. Mama had us at church. It's 7 days in a week. We went to church 8 days.
Right.
You know, Bible study on a Monday, Sunday school on a Tuesday, this choir on a Wednesday. So we went to church. And we went to Sunday school. My
the
church
word
family,
was deep rooted in you.
Deeply rooted. And I have the best church in the world, Great and White Stone. Reverend McGee was my pastor. We had some of the great teachers there. A lot of churches been birthed out of our church, and we had a great church family.
Yeah, shout out to Roger.
Grandmama,
Roger Brown.
Yeah, Roger Brown.
Pastor Brown.
There you go, Pastor Brown, 917 South Wellington.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me your greatest success, Vince.
My greatest success. I feel like my greatest success at 47 is not what I've done,
okay,
but it's to the ones that I've invested in and made a difference in their life.
Okay.
How
do you measure that? How do you measure the difference you've made in someone else's life?
Well, since I've been in business going on 23 years, I've probably trained and mentored anywhere from 35 to 50 young teenagers that in turn turn professional. Some are police officers. I have a kid started me when he was at White Station, graduated with 2 degrees from Vanderbilt. Now he's a defensive line coach, I think, for Florida. I have another kid that's a fireman. You know, just pouring back into young men that was just like me, that didn't have a father, that had low self-esteem, that didn't finish school, that just need that father figure. I just talked to one of my son's friends just today, his birthday today.
Right.
And his dad was went to sell a car or something like that, and it was some foul play that just found his dad's body like a couple of days ago.
Wow.
So I had a conversation with him just today to tell him happy birthday, I love him, although he's gone, I'm here, and if you need me for anything, give me a call.
Tell me, what did your wife, what you said, you mentioned your wife and how important she was to you. Unpack that.
Okay, me and my wife been together since high school.
Right.
And
the high school that you didn't finish.
The high school that I didn't finish that she did.
Okay.
And she was there with me from the beginning.
Okay.
The times I was trying to figure myself out, the times I was struggling, when I was, didn't have the love for myself and didn't really have the direction. She was always there. And I didn't even know then how much she really liked me or even loved me at the time. But
when did you know? When did you know she loved you?
I mean, her actions.
Okay.
You know, action speaks louder than words.
Absolutely.
You know, we talked. She believed me. Even when I started my business, I was a manager at AutoZone. I managed like 4 different AutoZone stores. I was manager with AutoZone, and I was still having clients bringing me bags of shoes. So at the time, I was working at Firestone, working at AutoZone, shining shoes, cutting hair, stealing parts. I'm hustling. I'm hustling.
When did you have time to shine shoes with a full-time job at Firestone, working? I mean,
I get off work, I go home. We had a 2-bedroom apartment in the Wind Branch Apartments. Wind Branch, Mill Branch, whatever is on, I think it's the Wind Branch Apartments. Okay. I work all day, I shine shoes all night.
Wow.
And a guy told me, he said, man, if you shine the shoes, you cutting the hair, you working at AutoZone, you doing 5 different things, making $20,000. You can put all of those together and find something you love and make $100,000.
Right.
So it made so much sense. And my wife was like, baby, you making just as much money shining shoes you is at AutoZone. Won't you? You know, so I'm constantly getting the nuggets.
Right.
So I told my wife, I said, once God bless us with a house and a new SUV, we don't need our credit for no time soon. How about I start my business? So
right.
God bless us with a house back in 1999, and 2 months later, we bought a 1999 Ford Explorer. I went to AutoZone, right there in the area where I stay at, walked to work, felt good that day. And something hit me that day, say, this the day you start your business. So I called my wife. I'm like, baby, I think the day today. She said, the day today for what? I said, remember I told you once we get the house and get the truck, we don't need our credit for nothing. Let's start the business.
Right.
She said, are you sure? I said, baby, I'm sure.
Right.
She said, if you believe, I support you. And that's all I needed to hear.
The support.
I called the area manager of the AutoZone store. I said, at 12 o'clock, when I go to lunch, get somebody at your store because I quit. They said, you quit? I said, I'm quitting at 12 o'clock. So you got 2 hours to get somebody at your store.
You burned the bridge. You ain't give them 2 week notice or nothing.
None of that. Like, we don't do that. We quit, And man,
I'm gonna ghost you at 12 o'clock.
At 12, they had somebody at the store. I went home, and what's so amazing, I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have no money. All I had was my wife believing in me in a dream. That's all I had.
That's all you need.
That's all I had.
And God, you got the trifecta.
God took care
right
of
there.
everything. He did it all.
Any regrets?
I didn't do it sooner.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
No regrets.
How sooner would you have done it if you had it all over again?
You know what? I'm not going to say that because everything played a part to who I became. So it's no regrets.
All right.
No
Now
regrets.
listen, that kid, Vincent
Yes, sir.
Guy, young Vincent Guy.
Yes, sir.
He's sitting there watching TV, eating a bowl of cereal.
Yes, sir.
Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, Vincent Guy of the day.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that kid?
First thing I'll tell a kid is this. Always pray.
Okay.
Not only always pray, but dream big dreams. And when you dream big dreams, start to write. Write it down. And after you write it down, at the bottom of what you write, put on there, in the name of Jesus. And after you do that, go for it.
That's beautiful.
Go for it.
All right.
The sky's the limit.
So listen.
Yes, sir.
We got young men.
Yes, sir.
We got young boys
Mm-hmm.
that are watching and listening to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are viewing,
Mm-hmm.
can you look in that camera
Okay.
right there
Mm-hmm.
and give them a Vincent Guyism
Okay.
that you can leave them with, that they can take from this meeting
Okay.
with them for the rest of their life?
Okay. What I would tell the young men today is this. Turn your phone off. Turn your television off and tune in to what God has for you. Don't waste time watching everybody else grow. Utilize the time that you have to build your own brand. The sky's the limit. We serve a big God that owns it all, and you guys are the son of our God. And whatever you want, you can do it. Whatever you want to have, you can do it. Don't cherish money. Don't cherish things. Chase the favor of God, because God's favor will take you places that your pockets can't afford.
I can't say it better than that, because I can tell you I am a living witness to that proclamation right there. God will take you places that your pockets can't afford. Listen, I'm Larry Robinson. This is my brother, Vincent Guy.
Yes, sir.
For the journey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your journey.
Yes, sir.
We're going to keep bringing them to you. Every time we're going to bring you these amazing Memphis icons. So as long as you keep coming back, we're going to keep coming back. Right here on The Journey on the KUDZUKIAN Network. Thank you. Thank you to our partner, the Grand Boule of Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity, Delta Chapter. To hear more incredible stories like this, be sure to download the KUDZUKIAN app from the App Store or Google Play, or check out the Journey Memphis podcast on all your major podcast providers. Also, check us out on the KUDZUKIAN Network.